The stars are soft with memory tonight, and in their quiet I remember the first time your laughter folded into my chest like a prayer I didn't know I was saying. There was a song in the way you looked at me, and though the world spun on, it felt like we stood still, like gravity was a shared promise between our eyes. You didn't need to say anything, your presence was enough. You were summer's hush, winter's candle, the rhythm beneath my skin. I didn't understand love until it became a language I spoke fluently, just by knowing your name. You walked in and suddenly everything was poetry. The silence we shared between words was filled with meaning only our hearts could hear. Each morning after that felt like a note left behind by the universe, signed in light, kissed in wind, scented with the kind of knowing that lives in the bones. I'd find traces of you in the smallest places, a teacup's echo, a window's breath, the way the world turned a little slower when I thought of your hands. I loved you in the present tense, but I carried you like a future, tied to my spine, written into my days, stitched into my dreams. When you smiled, time became a softer thing. When you touched me, I remembered every lifetime we must have found each other before this one. There are no accidents when the heart recognizes home. Even when clouds buried the sun and we stood on opposite ends of a misunderstanding, you were the song that hummed beneath the static. We loved like we had something to prove to the heavens, that souls could stretch across galaxies and still come back breathless, holding hands. You were the echo that never left, the answer before the question, the stillness in the storm. And even when my heart trembled with fear or fatigue, your name was the balm. You are not just a chapter, I was never writing a story without you. Every sentence leads back to you, every metaphor bends in your direction, always, always you. There's a kind of forever that isn't made of time but of intention. That's what we built, brick by brick, whisper by whisper. We didn't just fall in love, we chose it over and over when the days got hard, when the sky didn't answer, when all we had were each other and the echo of hope. You are the pulse I never questioned, you are the question I never needed to answer. The way you love is not loud, but it is enduring, like roots growing quietly beneath a mountain. Your patience could teach rivers how to stay, and I'd rewrite the rules of gravity to meet your orbit, again and again. There's something beautiful about how we grew, not despite the cracks, but because of them. Every hard day became a brushstroke, and we are a masterpiece painted in persistence and passion. I remember the way your voice steadied me when I was coming undone, not with grand declarations, but with quiet conviction. You didn't try to fix me, you simply held space until I found my own light again. That's what love is, isn't it? Not perfection but presence, not answers but understanding. And in you I have always found both. You taught me that love doesn't ask for masks, that vulnerability is not weakness, and that being known, truly known, is the bravest thing of all. Even the nights that seemed longer than the roads we walked never truly scared me, because your love was a lighthouse that never went dark. You reminded me that being human means breaking and rebuilding, and that our cracks don't make us unlovable, they make us real. You stood beside me when I couldn't stand for myself. You believed in my song when I forgot the lyrics. You reminded me that I was never alone. And every time I look into your eyes, I find the stars I thought I had lost. My compass, my calm, always, always you. Your love is the rhythm that rewrote my heartbeat. Before you, love was a theory, something imagined, distant, unreachable. But you turned it into breath, and touch and laughter. You turned it into something tangible. I carry your love like a secret, the universe whispered just to me. It's in the way your hand fits mine, like a poem fits a melody. It's in the way you say my name like it's a promise you never planned to break. You make love feel like a sacred fire, a soft defiance against a cold world. And I will never stop choosing you. Even when we are old and grey, I will still see the sparkle of now in your eyes. If the world were to forget its own rhythm, I would still remember ours. The way we move through space, synchronized, silent, sure. I would still hold on to the notes of your laugh, the warmth of your touch, the safety of your gaze. You are not just the love of my life, you are the love of all my possible lives. And even if this world ends and the stars burn out, I know I will find you again. In some other time, some other skin, some other way, we will always find each other. Because when something is written in the soul, it doesn't fade, it doesn't falter, it simply waits for the next beginning. You make me believe in the kind of love that doesn't need fixing, only tending. A love that shows up, even when it's hard. A love that listens more than it speaks, that understands more than it explains. That's what we are. quietly unstoppable, boldly gentle. Every morning I wake up beside you is a miracle I don't take for granted. Every night I sleep knowing you're near is a lullaby sung by the stars. And every moment in between is filled with the simple joy of existing with you. I've stopped searching for something more, because nothing is more than this, than us. And even in the silences between our words, there is music. The kind that lives in the chest, that moves the soul. You are the only rhythm I've ever wanted to follow. I know the world is full of distractions, but when I look at you, everything else fades. It's like the universe gave me a reason to stay grounded and dream at the same time. That reason is you. I want the ordinary with you, the grocery lists, the rainy mornings, the quiet dinners, the shared blankets, the little arguments, the laughter echoing off bathroom tiles. That's what love is. Real, daily, unshakable. There's no end to how I love you. No final stanza, no period at the end of this poem. Only breath, only continuance. I want to memorize every wrinkle your smile will carve into your face, every shade of gray your hair will grow. I want to be there when your hands become maps of all we've lived through. I want to hold you when the world feels too heavy, and I want you to hold me when I forget how to be strong. I want us not just now, but always, always, always you.